Sagittarius Rising, this is your monthly tarot reading for the month of February 2026. My name's Podkane, and there's a bunch of cards I didn't want. I just want one card, please. And I've been reading tarot for over a decade, and I have returned to you the turning of the age or whatever, right? It's like Neptune's moved on from Pisces. Thank God we can all move forward with our freaking lives. So we got the card ambivalent. You say you want a lover, but you're not all in. Take time to figure out what you want. Now, I do want to say as a caveat before we get into the tarot that this is a love relationship deck, but I'm using it simply to give us like the energy of how you're feeling, and we'll see if it relates to relationships or not. So, Sagittarius rising, how are you showing up this month? The world major cycle completed. Hell yeah. Major cycle completed. You've healed a lot. You've gone so much stronger. Healed from heartbreak, separations, the fucking divorce is coming to mind. Maybe so for you. Maybe not. Take it if it may, obviously. But yeah, you've gotten so much stronger, real big level up coming into this reading and what the scope and the purview of this reading will be in February. What you have is a lot of good work ethic, and you've been doing something for quite some time now and gaining a bit of mastery over it. You've put a lot of energy into this. And what is that? Ooh, Wheel of Fortune. The time is right. There's an opportunity here now because you put in the effort to make a decision. Okay, I make a decision about going after something that would bring you a sense of justice. So again, I mentioned divorce, like, get your fair dues and wrap everything up in a legal matter. It could be a legal matter, but it could also just mean like bringing about something that's more equitable in your life. You're ready to hop on an opportunity that would give you more of your time back, more of your energy back, get you more money, just make things more equitable in your life in whatever way that makes sense to you. What's on your mind in February? Sagittarius rising, what is on your mind this month? Well, you're thinking about tuning the fuck out of like communicating and slowing down, what you're saying. I think there's an element of like, there's a lot of argumentation and pettiness, there's a lot of drama, and you're wanting to kind of turn that all off. This would make you feel a sense of empowerment if you did this, is what you're considering. Like, I would feel more stable and in control of my own life if I wasn't so distracted and assaulted by all the chatter and the gossip and the nonsense and the talking, right? It's like there's a thought that maybe it's time to slow things down and shut things out that aren't doing you any good in regards to your mental health. What's going on at home? Again, it's like I'm taking charge. I'm daddy here or mommy, like whatever. Like, I'm taking charge of and also like this is the king of the castle, right? You're realizing that you feel more in control and more empowered at home. And then it's also like becoming head of the household, leading your family, making big decisions. Things look really positive at home, though. I think you're kind of bringing someone in out from the cold as well, like wanting to include them more, finding a way to connect with them. They've been depressed and despondent. They may have been emotionally unstable, and you're looking for a way to build that bridge back and also like relate to them on an emotional level. So, what does your self expression look like in February? How are you expressing yourself? Yeah, you've stopped waiting around and looking for answers, that's for sure. The navel gazing is at an end. And you're also reckoning with the idea that it feels like, the old rules need not apply. There's new circumstances out here. There's new opportunities. You're willing to do things differently. The world is the biggest major change ending card that there is in the deck. It's like, there's definitely been a huge turnaround for you as far as like what you expect in the world. And I think and all the readings I've done so far, and I've done them in order, so you've been the ninth. I'm seeing that you are uniquely reacting to Neptune's move out of Pisces better than any and faster than anyone else. I mean, you were waiting and praying on it, right? Like now it's moving into a friendly sign of Aries, and it can bring you growth rather than like, a lot of challenges and issues. I don't even know like how to clarify it more than that because it was in Pisces since 2011. Think about all the different things that have happened since then in your life, and like knowing that that is pretty much a thing of the past has got to be such a huge relief, and you're open and ready for it. And then with this Four of Pentacles reversed, you're also willing to let go of, and again, Sagittarius uniquely skilled at this, ready to let go of a lot of things that you've kind of accumulated to yourself that's only served to either isolate you from your dreams or your stability. And you're ready to like, drop a few fucking things off at the Goodwill, if you know what I mean. Like there's some things that you're ready to let go of because they're not serving you. You're focusing on your own personal truth at this time. What's going on at work or at their vocation, if you work from home, or if you have a project, whatever it is that you work on, what is going on with that for Sagittarius rising in February? Okay, same song, different dance. You're going to find that this your workplace or whatever you're involved with is not moving as fast as you are. And again, you know your truth. You know what's up. What do you do about it? You're going to free yourself bit by bit from it because you have your own autonomy and independence, period. And you aim to claim that no matter what. Now, I'm not going to, okay, as I say, no matter what, this card comes up, which is the opposite of no matter what. There are some things you will not do. I think that you're not going to just go out and live in a tent in the woods because you're not going to put up with the same old stupid bullshit of whatever is going on. The devil it's a big card and it's a general card. It can mean many different things. I'm not going to get into the details of it because it's different depending on who you are that's watching this. What I will say is that you're going to see the same repeated mistakes. You already have leveled up. You already have met the issues head on. The devil takes forever to get it figured out, as in terms of an energy. And so, with the Eight of Swords reversed, there are other cards that I could see that would be like I'm out of here, fuck it, like, here's my 2 weeks kind of shit. Or even like there's a card I could see to be like, I'm gonna help you figure this out. This looks far more to me like I'm going to bide my time and slowly work on an exit strategy that is that will lead me to a place of greater empowerment and independence and autonomy. The person that is closest to you, Sagittarius rising, what are they doing in February? Well, they're wrong. Whatever it is, they're wrong. They're either met some kind of defeat. There could be a little bit of duplicity. We'll see. A lack of boundaries. Lack of boundaries with them. What else? And a new opportunity. This could be like they took out a loan or something like that. That was like, racked up a bunch of credit card debt. Or like they borrowed money that they shouldn't have or couldn't afford to pay back because they didn't have boundaries. They got suckered in and now they're paying the price. That's one way to look at it. Another way would be that because someone lied to them and they didn't have proper boundaries, now they have a whole new responsibility that they're having to contend with. It could be isolating them, I feel. They could also be in the devil energy as well, of just like doing the same thing over and over again. It's always, no matter how the exterior circumstances change, sorry about that. No matter how the exterior circumstances change, they just find themselves in the same fucking scenario playing over and over again. Anything else Sagittarius rising should know about their person? They haven't yet, like, again, this goes back to Pisces, Neptune leaving Pisces, and you've already gotten to the end, right? you're here at the final card, the world card. They have not yet received the reckoning of the truth of the reality. There's something that you can probably see very clearly at this point, and maybe you've told them so many different ways till you're blue in the face. Although I don't really feel like that's mostly your way. But you're also just kind of like, well, are you going to figure it out or are you not? Um, I would just offer to you that you're definitely at the top of the class when it comes to this big change that we're all reckoning with. And if you want to, keep this person in your life, if not, whatever, that's fine. But patience is going to be required. And that's also what you've gained a lot in patience. That's my patience card there. So they just have not yet gotten that lightning bolt recognition of truth yet, and it wouldn't be here if it wasn't forthcoming. But it could take some time. Who knows, right? Ultimately, I think they are working themselves out of a lot of fear and panic and anxiety over something. But that judgment card is so important because it's a knowing that goes beyond logic or reason, and it's something that just hits you in your soul, and once it's there, it's like you know it powerfully and you know it forever. And I feel like with you starting out as a world card, you may have just recently experienced something like this, like a aha moment of like, now I understand. I know either what my purpose is or what this situation's role was in my life. So now I've learned its lessons. I can move forward, or I know what, action I need to take next to bring about like the things that I'm trying to pursue in my life, or whatever it is, and they're just haven't gotten that quite yet. And I also will say that they need it to move forward. So if you're thinking of trying to tell them what's up, don't bother. They don't have the ears to hear it. I think, I think maybe they would like for the situation to be solved in that way, but there's something weird that happens with this type of thing where someone you could tell this person 10 different ways on 10 different days, but it's not till the 11th when, you say it like not even in just the right way, just like it doesn't matter. They're not ready to understand or hear it until they're ready, right? So that's all I'll say about that. What do other people have that's affecting you? Okay, Four of Wands. There, homelessness. I don't know. Like, maybe somebody wants to come and stay with you, or whatever, and they're like, "I'm really clear about this. I'm being really open and honest that I think we have a future and a shared path together." They have a dream and an idea and a vision of something that they want you to sign on to and get on board with. But it's like celebrating too soon before the details have really been ironed out. And I'll also say that if there is some kind of offer like this around you in February, that this person is not who they appear to be. They're kind of portraying themselves as someone who's very confident. They're very, self-assured, and they may well be, but on the inside, they're very deeply wanting affection and approval. They have a great insecurity. They're also very likely to control through manipulation and through like ego battles and things like that. Ego battles, right? And they want to compete with you. Actually, I think there's some part of them that like wants to connect and pull you into themselves because they want to be you, and just be aware of that. What are you learning about in February? Um, Three of Wands reverse. Let's see if we can get more about that. I think it's like, learning to not wait around to hear bad news, to hear negative news. Um, it's you've got to forge your own path. And I mean that you've probably gotten that lesson many, many times over in your life. Uh, I think no news is good news. And maybe this even goes back with the 9 and the 3 to you being willing and desiring to cut off a lot of the outside noise and chatter. Maybe you're wanting to like uninstall whatever social media from your phone. Maybe you're wanting to uninstall a few contacts from there as well. Um, if you open yourself up to certain types of negative thinkers who can't understand your unconventional way of thinking and doing, then it's just going to like hinder you in your own like path and sense of self. I want to go back to this card, like the ambivalent card, where you don't really know what you want. I mean, you say you want one thing, but maybe it doesn't feel quite right. I think opening yourself up to the dialogue of a lot of people has served to kind of confuse the issue. And what's really needed at this point, now that you're in a new stage of your life, is to come back home to yourself and figure out what is it that I want. And that it is far easier to do that when you don't have a lot of people fucking putting in their 2 cents about who you are. Okay. What is crystallized and made certain or permanent or real? What is the outcome by the end of February 2026 for Sagittarius rising? King of Wands, of course, is taking charge. 9 of Cups reversed. And the 8 of Cups reversed. All right. Now that you're taking more charge and more liberty in your life because you have a vision and purpose, because that's tuning all this out and everything like that is serving to build it, not build, discover what you really want and what you really desire, and work up the energy around that of like, okay, I know what I want now. Then it's saying with the 9 of Cups and the 8 of Cups reversed, there'll be a process that begins to happen by the end of the month where you're not going to be able to achieve your dream overnight, right? This is just the beginning of a new cycle. The first step in it is cleaning up the old mess. So we can look back at this in the workplace and things like that. There's some time that needs to be taken to kind of pull yourself out of some other things that the old you committed to that the new you has no use for anymore. So it's going to take some time again to like let go and release those commitments and get out of all of it and break ties break ties with the things that no longer serve you so that you can move forward towards your goal. So just be aware that towards the end of February, it's not going to seem like forward momentum because you're revisiting things and you're still kind of stuck where you're at. But the reality is that it's all part of that process of, in order for something new to come in, something old has to go. So you're just going to be ejecting that which no longer makes sense for the new you. And this is all quite rapid, I want to say. You're on a very fast trajectory, the flying fuck out of here. Like I just gotta tell you, like it's gonna take a lot less time than you think to get real and get real true to what you really want. It's like step 1, shut everybody up. Step 2, figure out what you really want. Step 3, start pulling yourself out of all of the things that no longer fit with who you are now and what you really want now. And then step 4, profit, right? Whatever. So what is the wider world doing that's affecting Sagittarius rising at this time? Okay. So 4 of Cups, 4 of Cups upright, Hand reverse, 4 swords. When you look out to the way other people are treating this energy, right? They're not accepting that it's real and it's here. They are turning a blind eye to it. They're pretending like it doesn't exist. They're continuing to still operate on the same principles instead of having a change in perspective. And they're also hiding and running away from it as well, and trying to close their eyes to it, and trying to pray it away, and trying to manifest it away, or whatever the case may be, right? You're going to be seeing a lot of that. Again, that's just another reason, instead of like, here, let me show you the way and tell you how to do it. Like, that's not gonna fucking play with a lot of people. Um, in fact, as a fire sign, you lead better by example anyway. Um, but just be aware, it's gonna look like everyone around you is like just holding on to the dead when you've already moved on and moved forward. And that can be isolating, I think, and you even kind of see it in the vision of this card of like just this person alone in the woods and not knowing which path to take. Because it's like, I think if you're wanting company around you, you're going to find it hard to relate to them, at least in February, if not longer, because you've gladly accepted and welcomed and transformed into the new, era, and everybody else is still trying to play by the old rules. What could limit you in February 2026? What do you need to watch out for that could get in your way? So it's literally what I just said, that you're not going to be able to argue with these people. They're not going to see your side of it. They don't know until they've experienced it for themselves. You lead better by example than by argumentation. This is the card of argument and competition. You're only in competition with the people who are also on the same paradigm as you. And even that, it's like a sharing of ideas and building each other up through that competition. This is new, brand new, the full, like this is a brand new world. And if anyone else is still yapping the same thing that they've been yapping for at least 6 months, if not years, just know there's no reason to even continue the conversation. And that's how it is, because they're not on your level yet. Maybe they can join you at some point, maybe not. I feel like, you know, there could be a great many people who haven't come to the reality of this new energy of Neptune moving on out of Pisces and the end of the delusion, and facing more with a reckoning of, if you don't do something, you're never going to be something type of energy. And people are going to continue to indulge themselves and living in their heads. Uh, that's just how it is. You're going to have to leave them behind. Unwavering faith. Stand firm in your beliefs. Your steadfast spirit guides you through Sorry about that. Stand firm in your beliefs. Your steadfast spirit guides you through uncertainty. There you go. I mean, you already know what you need to know. I'm sure a lot of this reading was just confirmation, not telling you anything new. If anything, maybe with this person trying to like pull you in, and they're offering you, you know, all this shit about how y'all are on the same path and the same journey, and you can like, let's go be homeless together or whatever. I don't know, but like they're other than that little situation and scenario, I'm pretty sure you already knew all of this. But take it as confirmation that your intuition is tapped in, you're locked into the new energy, and to be ready and prepared and okay with the fact that a lot of people, things, and places are going to get left behind in the transition. All right, let's get a message of advice, Cosmic Oracle card for Sagittarius Rising. You have such a bright light inside. Stop dimming it. Yeah, I mean, that goes back to, if you continue to kind of placate people who are still pretending like they can talk and talk and talk and not do anything and think that that matters. Um, and so you're just going to dim your light to be around them. Like, well, the more you take action and the more you succeed and fly high, the more they're going to be resentful and jealous and try to control you and own you and everything else. So like that's a major reason why you have to leave people behind, is because they will otherwise, with or without their knowing, you will automatically dim your light to make them more comfortable, and that's not acceptable. Live your life with both feet in, commit to fully being here. I think that's really what you've learned. Like that's why you've reached the world. Is like commit to fully being here. We can't, and none of us, right? None of us can continue to participate in like just consuming content only and getting all up in our heads or getting stuck navel gazing, like just thinking about ourselves and all of our problems, or hyper focusing on illusions and make believe and not actually doing anything and not achieving anything. And I think that you've recognized that that's where you are now. And it's going to take, like I said a million times, okay, I don't need to keep repeating myself, it's going to take a lot of time for other people to catch up to you, Sagittarius, as it is. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed that reading, please give me a like or subscribe, okay? And I'm doing relationship readings in the middle of the month for Venus signs, and then I'm going to do a 2026 whole year reading whenever I feel like it, because that's how I am. And until I see you next time, bye.